We are back, and this time we are joined by my friend, Susannah Clegg. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. We wanted you on the podcast for quite some time. I mentioned just before we came on the show that I want some more UK artists involved in what we do and to kind of broaden our horizons on that particular scene. So before we kind of dive into the kind of deeper questions, let's start in terms of who you are and where you're from. So do you want to give a little introduction before we start?
Sure. So my name is Susannah. I live in Lancaster, which is north of Manchester, which I guess is like somewhere Americans will know maybe. um, I like the older traditional kind of country that you guys like as well. So um, yeah, I like to think of my songs as sort of like storytelling. I think that's the way I come into it. Um, yeah.
Fantastic. So in terms of like educating me from being from the South, and our American friends, so what's kind of your hometown like?
So it's technically a city, but it's pretty small. But there's a really good music scene. It's not there's a few country Americana people, but there's a big mix, different kinds of music. So there's a lot of that going on. But it's pretty rural. It's quite near the Lake District, so
Yeah,
lots of countryside.
no, it's
um,
lovely up there. I've been a few times just on my holidays, but no, I'm always interested in finding out about different scenes and. Predominantly we have US based artists here, but some UK artists have been on before, like Jack Browning. So we've got to know a little bit about, his perception of the UK scene, which we'll go into with you as well. But is there any kind of music icons or anyone kind of famous music wise from Lancaster? I'm not familiar.
I think there was someone from the 80s, but I'm not I'm not sure what the song
Some
was.
80s pop icon.
Yeah.
But no one from the kind of country or Americana world that we know about.
Not that I know of, but maybe I'm wrong.
Fair enough. So I think you mentioned before that you have jumped straight into music as being a full-time occupation. Is that right?
Yes, which
So how long has that been going on for?
I think probably about April is when I decided it was the new tax year. So it's like
It
I
made
might as
sense
well.
for you.
um yeah, I don't know how wise a move it's been, but I'm enjoying it. So
Good on you. Good on you. So what was the tipping point then? So you've been doing this from what I can see, for a number of years now, and that was on a part-time basis with work presumably, and you made the choice to jump straight into it this year.
yeah, I just felt the amount of admin that I think it requires um, was sort of something that I couldn't really balance with having a job as well,
Yeah.
because I'm not super organized. So that was part of the reason, but like this is what I want to do. So it sort of made sense to just try and go for it, see what happened. So far, it's been going pretty well. So it was kind of just like a see what happens kind of thing, and then if it doesn't work out, then I could get a job again, I guess.
Reevaluate your situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always find it interesting because we're on the other side of the fence, kind of looking inwards at you artists and seeing how we can support you in different ways. And, I suppose for anyone not in your world per se, what kind of admin or what kind of constraints are there as an independent artist for you?
I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not just like playing music or even writing music. Um, it's like 7 different jobs because you've got to do all the networking and the emails and all that kind of stuff, but the social media as well, which takes longer than, like, I'm sure you know, but it takes longer than you would think.
Yeah.
And is a job in itself. And then the writing obviously takes time. And um, I guess like when you're recording as well, there's a lot going on there. Um, I think it's quite hard as a job now because it's it's not just like the music. You have to learn loads of different skills, like video editing, whatever. Yeah.
It's just like you say, it's a lot of different hats, and I always find it interesting how you guys kind of balance your time. And yeah, something's got to give at some point, and yeah, it's so difficult. And like you say, with the social media aspect, I'm always interested in hearing kind of people's views on that, because it can be a double-edged sword. I like to say, it's great in one respect, in terms of, you don't have to go through or trying to open various doors. You've kind of got the network there in front of you as such. You've just got to tap into it, and trying to crack the algorithm. I think you'll lose your mind, trying to work with that. But then on the flip side, like you say, you're not just an artist now. You're meant to be a social media influencer, and there's a lot of people I speak to that just hate that side of it. It's not them. It's not what they kind of went into music for. But this, in this day and age, is kind of what you're up against, isn't it? If you want to be heard. So is that your experience too?
Yeah, I think even the people that it seems like they like it don't really like it. Because I think, like, maybe it's not the case, but like, I don't think anyone really wants to share every second of their life with people that they'll never meet, and like probably quite often have something nasty to say about it. And I think it sort of takes away from the mystique as well. I think like a lot of musicians that I like I know bits about them, but I think if I ever met them, like, I don't know if I'd get on that well with them.
Yeah.
Like historical artists. Like I don't know how well I get on with like Townes Van Zandt, the mystique and the mythos, the mythos around him is like, that's part of what makes him cool as well. And I think social media is really taken away from that as well.
Yeah, you get a full peek behind the curtain, don't you? And it's
Yeah.
I'm of the same opinion, of older artists that I've admired, and when you discover more about them, their personality or their lives, you think, oh, that's kind of taken that image that I had of them away, and it's left me with something I'm not quite happy with. But yeah, that's interesting. It's so in terms of like your own music, let's talk about that. Let's go into that a little bit more. For people that haven't heard it before, rather than me kind of reading your Spotify bio, and thanks for adding us in there, by the way. I didn't realise you did that, and
Yeah,
I
it's a
didn't
good
realise
quote.
anyone. I didn't realise anyone took our comments that seriously. So, but we stand by it. You are a standout voice in UK country. I think that's something that we said previously, and we completely stand by that. Hence why you're on the podcast and we're speaking to you, and we'd love to know more about you. But yeah, talk about, tell us a kind of a synopsis about your music and your style.
So none of it's really about me. I find it impossible to write about myself in a specific way. So like, it's not really music that's like, here's an event that happened to me or something that has affected me. But it's more about trying to get across a story, but which may be like infused with my personal feelings or my views or whatever. But nothing is particular. Well, actually, Colorado, which is kind of the song that I think most people have listened to, was sort of, so the line is, if I get back to Colorado, which was kind of just like, I'd just been to Colorado and I wanted to go back.
If I get back to Colorado, here's an unreliable flow, broken memories, all have fun. If I get back to Colorado, that Rocky Mountain grant me peace of mind.
But other than that, it's more about stories. So like I have a song called Tess, which is based on a Victorian novel, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. And I'm just sort of like interested in how we can sort of take some of the more English or British kind of folk or like pastoral stories and put a sort of American twist on them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think like the sound is quite more on the old school side. The stuff I'm writing now is more like kind of 50s country, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've got that right. I think that was my kind of impression after listening to your music. Is more kind of the old timey country, some bluegrass in there, because I believe you're in a bluegrass band as well.
Yeah, I dabble. I can't pick like some people can, but I like the music a lot, and I'm in a band with my boyfriend and his sister and her boyfriend. So whenever we get together, we have like a family band kind of thing called the Long Nights.
Awesome. It's I went to see a bluegrass gig. I lose track of time. I think it was like last year, to see Colby T. Helms. And I think Dom Glynn was there too. And some of the picking that they were doing is just ridiculous. Finger picking style. I think Colby flat picks, and it looks incredibly difficult for somebody that can play guitar badly like me to be able to learn anything like that. So yeah, good on you. So you're in the band. You're doing your solo stuff. So how's the solo career going so far?
Pretty good. Better than I expected, to be honest. I've got a few like really good opportunities this year that I wasn't really expecting to get so early. Like I played at Country and Roots Review back in April, and that was my first festival. And it's obviously like a really cool, like specified Americana festival. So like it was just a room full of people who actually wanted to hear the music, and it was really great. And yeah, just like this year has been a lot of fun, really. I feel like maybe people are starting to take notice a little bit. And I've met a lot of, like you say, like the UK scene has welcomed me quite nicely.
Good.
So it's cool to meet everyone as well.
Fantastic. And are you supporting some gigs with For the Love of Appalachia as well?
Yes, that's this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in Barnsley. So it's like a day festival, which I'm really excited about. I really wanted to work with a Cat, so I'm glad to have made that connection through you, I think, maybe. And yeah, so my friend Paul Armour is also on that, and he's an amazing flat picker and singer as well. And so I'm looking forward to playing with him as well. And just meeting everyone else, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it will be an experience. So you're supporting Joe Clark and Cody Lee Meese, some of the best artists in Kentucky at the minute. So yeah, it's great that you're on that bill. I'm sorry I won't be at the Barnsley gig. I'll be going to the Bala gig in Wales, hopefully to do a grit sessions with the guys as well. But yeah, the Barnsley one sounds fantastic. So I think if anyone is in the area, is that on the Monday, Tuesday? What date is that?
I believe it's Saturday.
Completely wrong.
I'll just check to make sure.
I should know all this.
Yeah, the 30th, Saturday.
There you go. So if you're in the Barnsley area on the 30th, go and see Joe, Cody, and Susannah, because it will be a fantastic day of music. So there you go. So let's talk about the UK scene, because we've kind of skirted around it somewhat. You said it's very welcoming. I should know a lot more about the UK scene than I do, but for some reason I've been kind of sucked into the Kentucky world and the Texas world and a lot, of the US kind of states and their scene. So I've somewhat neglected the UK scene. That's my fault, and it's something I'm going to fix going forwards. But, in your opinion, when you first started out, what did that look like in the UK? Because we've got, I would say, an emerging scene, in my opinion, from what I can see, we don't have a lot of singer-songwriters and original artists, not as many as the States does. We don't have that as much of that culture, which I'm hoping that will improve, and I'm seeing some improvements in the short kind of space of time that I've been observing. But also we've got stuck in a bit of a rut where there's a lot of tribute artists that are on some massive bills as well, and good on them. I've got nothing against tribute artists, but for what we do, I would like to see more original artists with original songs that are yours that we can go listen to. So rather than me kind of waffling on about this, what is your opinion of the UK scene, and what's it been like for you?
It's been really great. I do agree with the tribute artist thing. Like, I think it's good that they have opportunities, but I would like opportunities for original music as well, even if it's the same people, because I know a lot of people who got into the tribute thing also write their own stuff. But yeah, the people, like you said, Dom Glenn, he's great. He's just released his album, which is amazing. And I think Savannah Gardner is also from London, and she's a really, really good singer-songwriter, and she's got like amazing stage presence as well. Big fan of her. I'd say there's probably more down in London, just from what I've seen. But I think that's a problem just with the UK in general. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on in London and not a huge amount anywhere else, really. But there are actually 3 of us in Lancaster there. So there is definitely I'm not making a huge amount of sense at the moment. I keep starting sentences. But so there is a good broad spectrum in the UK of like the more pop stuff, as well as the like traditional like acoustic-y singer-songwriter songs about death and stuff, which is maybe more what I do. But like this girl called Amy Jo. She's a really great sort of pop country singer. And she's also from Lancaster, which is what I mentioned before. Just trying to think of people's names, to be honest.
I know, I go blank all the time when I'm doing these, but yeah, I mean, like you say, I think it's very London-centric, the scene, albeit there's some great festivals. The one that's just gone this weekend, Along Road, I think is one of the best festivals outside of like the bigger ones, country to country, and the fact that they're bringing in a lot of UK artists that I've seen online that were attending some of the kind of areas there, and some friends from Kentucky. Josh Mitchum was playing over the weekend. So it seems like, not everything's in London.
No,
but
true.
more could be outside of London. I completely agree with that.
I do think it's sort of starting to happen a bit as well, because I think sometimes people just don't realise that, like, some people don't like move away to London, because a lot of people obviously come from around the country to London, so it's sort of the scene is there. But I think actually going back to the social media stuff, like you don't really have to do that as much anymore. So I think with people being able to stay where they live, including up north or like other places, like it sort of forces the scene to grow elsewhere as well a bit. But yeah, I was actually at Long Road for not a very long time, just like half a day, I think, because I managed to get a busking spot there. But yeah, that seemed like a really great place, and that's in the Midlands.
Leicestershire,
Leicester,
yeah, so not far from me. Yeah, some great places in and around. So in terms of, we talk about the good, bad, and the ugly in terms of the UK scene. What do you think that we're doing well at here? What are the good things that we're doing?
I think there's not a lot of sort of competition, or like everyone's very supportive of each other, I think, and they want you to do well, because it's such a small and growing scene that there's not really no one's really fighting each other for the same sort of stuff. So everyone kind of like wants new people to start writing and supports them and welcomes them in and like is willing to give you a support slot or like share your social media stuff or any of that. So I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah. And what do you think might be missing? So if you could wave a magic wand right now and say, right, the UK scene needs this, let's kind of put it in place.
I think sort of more like top-down support, if that makes sense.
Is that from bigger artists or through industry connections?
I don't really know, because like I myself am not really a big enough name yet to like I don't know what it's like for people who are sort of trying to take it to the next level from where they're at yet. So I don't know for sure what the industry is actually like, you know. But I think sort of like financial investment. But I think this is like again a problem with the UK is that the arts are not really being supported by the government, or like it's not really valued as much at the moment. So I think I don't know how that would happen, but that would help, I think.
So money, investment, and support. So if anyone's out there, chuck a load of money our way, and we'll make things better. But like I keep saying, I think it's a great opportunity for anyone who is looking to invest or to get involved in the scene, particularly in the UK, because it is, I think, at a point where things can happen, and things can happen very quickly. I keep harping on about them, but our friends at For the Love of Appalachia have kind of found that pocket within the market that was missing. You know, that kind of cross-cultural bridge that's been created by the likes of Cat Deeds and Lance Rogers particularly, to not just bring Kentucky artists over for us to, you know, enjoy and watch them play, but to use that as a kind of platform for independent UK artists like yourself to, you know, get involved in that and to kind of share that limelight and that kind of exposure. So I think that is working very well so far. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen this year, next year, and, you know, going into it. But so it's great. It's great that you're supporting the Barnsley gig, and anyone that is there, like we keep saying, make sure you get a ticket and go.
Yeah, definitely.
And go and support the guys. So being back to an independent artist, what is kind of your favourite thing within that?
That I can sort of just do whatever interests me. I don't have to sort of cater towards anything, or even like do the same thing again that has been successful last time. Like I can sort of explore what I want to do. So like my first EP, The Road Is Only Miles, which is my only EP at the moment, but that was sort of more Americana-y, I think. And then I think this next one that I've written quite a lot for is sort of more country, and obviously that's the same sort of broad genre, but like I have the freedom to sort of approach songwriting from any angle that interests me in that moment without sort of having to like get anyone's approval or anything like that. And I can just I can just gig wherever I want as well. Like I tend to say yes to basically everything because it's like what I enjoy doing. So people have been like, "Oh, you gig so much," and it's like, yeah, but that's like what I want to do. So that's obviously it's not very financially smart, but there's a lot of traveling involved. But I can just sort of go wherever I want if they'll have me, and then like meet everyone, play for everyone. It's just a lot of fun.
So it's the artistic kind of freedom that comes with that. So on the flip side, what for you personally is the most annoying or kind of challenging part of being independent?
Just having to do everything. Like, you have to do all the marketing, all the like. I enjoy some of it because I do enjoy some admin, but it can get a bit overwhelming, especially when you're trying to balance it with traveling or with anything else like personal life. It's you sort of have to work all the time. Like everyone who owns a small business probably feels the same. But you kind of have to, like, if you get a text or an email or something, like you if you can't ignore it, even if you're at like a family event or something, like you still have to sort of be on and working,
Yeah.
which can be frustrating.
No, it's like you say, you wear many hats, and yeah, there's going to be some parts that frustrate you, but it's the life you've chosen, Susannah, and it's what you got to do to kind of keep afloat. But yeah, I want to keep up with our friend Camden, the honky tonk hair machine. So if you've seen our new kind of segment with Camden, he's meeting a lot of artists talking about styling and things like. I'm not as stylish as Camden, as you can tell. But for you personally, kind of what style do you go for when you hit the stage? What's your kind of favorite outfit? What do you go for?
I always wear the hat because partly because it looks cool, and partly because I think it helps people remember you, because it's not really a thing people wear here. So if you saw the girl with the cowboy hat thing, then you can remember her, hopefully. I like a shirt most of the time rather than a t-shirt. A waistcoat I really like to wear. I think it looks cool. And then like jeans and some sort of boot, but I actually don't own any cowboy boots. So
we've got to fix that. Get yourself some. Is it the Ariats or the?
Yeah, I don't know. So like the hat, my boyfriend sort of found it in some like really small store in Texas on like the last day that he was there.
Cool.
And it was like a fated hat, so I'm kind of waiting for my fated boots. I don't want to just buy some.
Oh, fantastic! I've seen some recent videos where you're in an antique shop as well, and I think kind of if you think about the aesthetics of the clothing and the antique store, that goes really well. And I think was it Prospect Street you were singing within that store. So talk to us a little bit about Prospect Street, because it's a newer song, isn't it? And it's something I know Jack Browning put me onto, and he's been supporting you with that particular one.
Yes, he has. Yeah, so it's actually a road in Lancaster. And the first time I heard it, heard the name, I was like, that sounds like a really good song. Because it's sort of like, if you're on Prospect Street, then maybe things are looking up for you, but what happens like if you're not on Prospect Street anymore? So it's a kind of old school, like lost love kind of song. It actually came about because I was trying to write some sort of fun songs. So my parents are very supportive, but they prefer like fun music rather than sad music. So I was trying to write some sort of more upbeat, fun songs. And the one that I came up with was a breakup song about your boyfriend marrying someone else, I guess, is the story.
I walk down this road 100 times or more. If these stones could speak a word, then they just weep. And now this stands a house where once there was a home. Now there's nothing to be found on Prospect Street.
So there's a compromise in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, outside of kind of music, I suppose you don't have a lot of time in between gigging, writing music, and playing out. Is there any kind of passions that you have outside of it?
Yeah, so like I love being outside, so I like hiking, especially with my dog. He's called Towns. And I love just storytelling. Like I love to read, and I love films, and I love like TV and stuff. So like it kind of all inevitably feeds back into the songwriting.
Yeah.
But I like to see how other people tell stories and like get inspiration from that and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that's great. So in terms of what's coming up next for you, Susannah, so we talked about the Full of Love of Appalachia. I wish they chose a shorter name than that. I always
Maybe we
struggle.
need to acronym it.
I know, we do. We really do. So you've got that going on over the weekend, as we've mentioned a few times. What was kind of coming up for the rest of the year after that for you?
I've got some cool support slots coming up. I'm supporting Karen Jonas in London. I've supported her before actually with the band, and she's a lot of fun. I really like her music, so it's going to be fun to do that again. That's in September. Actually, I think it's next week because it's nearly September now.
I know, you struck a time.
And I'm supporting Peter Bruntnell as well, which I think is in Leicesterish. Great
Midlands.
Eastern Midlandsy. I'm sorry. The Midlands is kind of like a blank space to me, except all my friends live there. And then I'll be down in London in November again, playing at the Dukes of Highgate, which should be a really fun one because that's like the coolest bar in the UK, I think. But yeah, I always put my shows on my website and social media and all of that stuff. So
that's a good segue. So where can people find you mainly? Where are you most kind of active?
I'm active on Facebook and Instagram the most, I would say. So that's Susannah Clegg Music for both. I do technically have a TikTok, but I don't really like it. So
I think even us, we don't know what to do with TikTok sometimes. It's there. It's a space to connect with people and to go live. And we've attempted to go live a few times badly, may I add. So yeah, I get the TikTok thing, but cool. So that's great. We've got a few places people can look out for you. I think you've got a YouTube channel as well with some of your music on. I always love the aesthetics of watching a video that you've put together as well. So, head over there. Is it under the same name as well?
Yeah, Susannah Clegg Music again. I tried to make everything the same, so it was easy.
Luckily, no one stole the same name. That's great. Fantastic. So, we'll end in a second before I play my silly game as I normally do. So, at the end, I like to do something called Pass the Mic. And this is where I get someone like you on who will ask the next person any question you like. So that could be music related or not music related. So we kicked things off last week with Hunter Blaylock, an amazing Georgia artist. Love the guy. He's fantastic. So his question to you is, do you think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to go all the way this year?
I don't even know what sport that is, but yes.
I didn't either, to be fair. I think it's American football. So just say yes. I think that'll keep him happy. There you go. 100%. So it's your chance to get someone back now. So you can ask. I don't even know who's on next, to be honest with you. I've forgotten completely. I'll have to look at the calendar. But yeah, what question would you ask on next guest, Susannah?
I should have prepared for this.
It could be random as you want. It doesn't matter.
What's your favourite novel? That'd be nice.
There you go. That's a nice question.
Yeah. The only thing that's in front of me is books.
Well, that goes nicely. Look, I really appreciate you joining me today. Like I said, I've wanted to talk to you for quite some time, and I think it's there's been some good insights into the UK music scene. And if you're out and about as a fan, make sure you go and see Susannah, go and support her, and as well as our other UK artists out there. And thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.